back to Journey of a Basketball Player. This time, I'm heading to France, guys. And right now, I'm waiting for my luggage to arrive. Currently in Oakland's airport. So I had to go from Vegas to Oakland, fly in Spirit, and then I transfer flights in Oakland to a different airline, Norwegian Air, to CDG. So let's take a look at the journey. So we're about to land pretty soon. I'm showing you the flight plan from where we started to the ending destination. It was a 12-hour flight, and pretty much I slept through it all, except for the remaining maybe like 20 to 30 minutes. And I probably did that because on Norwegian Air you had to pay for a meal, and I didn't pay for a meal, so I was going to be hungry throughout the whole flight and miserable. So I said, forget it, I'm gonna sleep this whole thing off. So we made it to our destination with a safe flight. The guy in front is Elliot. He's a manager from Frenchy Associates. The other guy that's in the front is Javon. He's from Canton, Ohio. There's a total of 4 of us that got picked up at the airport all together. And we're going to pick up a 5th one in the city of Paris. About to pick up my boy Marcus. He flew in from Sweden to France. So basically, I didn't get to tell y'all what happened at the airport. The 2 guys that's sitting with me in the back seat are from Northern California, Sacramento area, Yapa Valley. So wine country for the people that do know. Napa Valley, not Yapa, Napa Valley, wine country. So they are with a prep school called Prolific Prep, and they had guys like Josh Jackson that's in the NBA. Go through their prep school. They got a couple prospects that are ranked pretty high in the nation. So they should be McDonald's All-Americans, and they're producing some talent up there in Northern Cali. But for the most part, I met those 2 guys in Oakland. We all flew on the same flight, Norwegian Air, to France. We didn't really talk. Those guys, they knew each other, because they work with each other. But I kind of figured out really quick that these 2 guys are going to go to Frenchy US camp. I already had the hunch and the feeling already, even though we didn't talk at all, until we got to the car and got picked up. So basically, once we were leaving the plane, because we were all on the same plane, a lady happened to fall right in front of Ryan, and while we're exiting, she broke her ankle. So we had to have paramedics come and take 2 exits from the plane. So it kind of held us up. Once we got in, we got bussed in, then had to go through customs, clear customs, do the whole 9, get our passport stamped, and head to the baggage claim. So I headed to get my bags, and I think those guys went upstairs or whatever the case is. And from what I was told, the guy Arthur Framery, this is his camp, said, yeah, you got internet in there. Long story short, it took me a while, but we finally hooked up with Elliot, and now we're heading on our way. So a big reason for us coming to France was not also to teach the kids, but also to get certified on the new training method, which was called a Pro FTS band. So we actually learned a new training method using kinetic bands, and got a course. Had to go through a classroom course, yeah, training course online as well, to get certified. So for the first couple days in France, we were at this facility called the One Ball, which is a excellent facility. Like, this is probably one of the best facilities, period. Like, I would say in the world as far as a basketball facility. Like, even in the States, there's not too many facilities like this. One facility that kind of reminds me of is the Hacks, which I used to go to and had NBA players. But this is, I think, far beyond the Hacks, because not only do they have like 2 full courts, but they have side courts where you can just get shots up with the clock. So if you had an individual trainer, you can go to the side courts and get your run in and get trained up. The weight room that they have is excellent. Has everything that you need for a basketball standpoint. It's just excellent. These are some of the people. That's Sarah, that's Javon, that was Marcus. And then, as you can see, continuing, they got just another full court that's on that side. Big screen TV that they could do like breakdowns. You could do breakdowns of the game, stuff like that. These 2 guys, the guys with the backpack and this other guy with the glasses, these 2 are the guy with the backpack is the main instructor, and the guy with the glasses is his assistant. Him right here that just threw the peace sign, he was actually Kobe's ex-trainer. So Kobe Bryant, this is his ex-trainer. Before, I guess he's telling me that they fell out, whatever the case is, but he was coaching Kobe for a couple years. He trained Kobe Bryant, not coach him, but trained him. His off-season training, taking care of his body and stuff like that, with his methods. But pretty much, we're going through a course, just hands-on right now, on how to put on the bands, and we're going to do it on put the bands on our partners and take our turns. So he's giving us a block of instruction and a couple volunteers to put the band on. So this is Cali. Me and him, we actually clicked right after, because we happened to go to the same camp. Me, him, Ryan, Nathan, and Javon. And I think for this class, for us right here, because we had other guys come into our class later on, but I believe it was like 10 of us that took the class all together. Ryan, he had to leave. Not Ryan, Nathan had to leave because he was only there for 2 weeks. Ryan left with him. The powers that be, that's Fly. And we're all trying to learn this new method of training. So with these bands, it actually works your kinetic chain, and it requires less weight. So you're doing body weight movements. You can actually do everything that you need to do as far as training with playing basketball. You can run in it, shoot, jump, whatever the case is. Some methods you could do all that, some you can't. So in certain bands, not certain bands, but certain I want to say the chains that we use, where you're not allowed to really run and shoot. So not, I forget which one. There's one where it's just a lateral movement, where you could do just lateral movements. It'd be pretty bad for you if you try to, harmful if you try to shoot and train in it. As far as going, I want to say horizontally or vertically, whatever the case is, vertically. So right now, guys are just putting chains on each other. That's my boy Bleak. He's getting another chain put on him. and we're just showing the instructors we know what we're doing, after they taught us the classroom portion. So we're just going through the motions of getting comfortable with the bands. And it's kind of funny, Bleak didn't actually pan out like we should, but we wish the best for Bleak. He was a great guy, man. So the instructor's just telling him, pretty much you got to make the bands a little bit tighter because they can't be loose, otherwise you're not going to get the full effect of the band. A lot of this training that they're doing right now is, I wouldn't say revolutionary. You could say it's revolutionary, but it's actually becoming very popular because these guys are working at a high level. Not only are they working basketball, but MMA and soccer, national players, just like all across the board, just functional training, period. They're attacking a lot of groups and a lot of sports as well, so this is a great method on core training. And I actually have to get a band. We're supposed to get one before we left France, but trying to get a band and actually, get back familiarized with everything. So, guys are just putting the bands on one another, asking questions, just so they get familiarized with it. So I mean, there's as far as training and stuff like that, as a trainer, or any case, if you're a player, trainer, whatever the case is, you always want to evolve and learn new methods. Some guys are stuck in their ways with their methods of what they learn in training and stuff like that. And I'm not saying some of the stuff is right or wrong or whatever the case is, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's about results, and the results speak for themselves. So some people had questions on when we was learning the kinetic change and the method or the philosophy behind Pro FTS. Some people questioning certain stuff like stretching, static stretching. As far as it's kind of harmful to the body, to stretch before you're you're warming up or whatever the case is. So it's better to have them warm up than just stretch cold. If you have them stretch cold, it enhances injury. So like I said, the philosophy part about everything is with people. Some people they get used to it. Some people are by the book in their own way. So you kind of get a glimpse of what's going on. But we just playing with the bands, and getting familiarized with the equipment that we're about to use, especially since we're training kids and the youth in France. We use these bands at the camps to kind of fix the bodily movements, like some of these kids, or most of the kids, it's not like when I was growing up in the 90s, where guys are going outside and stuff like that and just naturally athletes gifted on climbing and doing just regular movements. So since the invention of video games, and it's just getting more and more, you know, advanced with our technology. Kids don't really go outside as much, you know, as far as, you know, in, you know, the phones and iPads and, you know, all the gadgets that these kids have nowadays. Kind of messes up their, I would say, kind of throw them off. You know, their core is not as strong as it used to be. I think, you know, as far as like a whole, the kids aren't getting the proper, you know, I would say the proper, what I want to say, they're not outgoing as they used to be, but so with that, and with the bad habits that they build up, you know, with your posture, looking at the cell phone, your neck and your back and stuff like that, they're not getting, you know, they're not exercising. Since they're not exercising, their core, they have a weak core. So this kind of training right here helps strengthen their core movements, so they can their body can be properly aligned when doing sports or anything. So if one side is off, you know, we'll use the chain on the opposite side to strengthen one side, so they can be evenly balanced. And it's the philosophy behind this is pretty good. The band training too, as far as, you know, wearing this band is no joke, because after a couple minutes you feel the band, even as an athlete, as a, you know, high profile athlete or whatever the case is, elite athlete as you want to say, you feel the strains of the band, and you feel it working like right away, because how your body is with the band and everything, what have you, you feel the results. So guys, right now are just, I have my camera out, so guys wanted to take their phone and kind of record everything, you know, for their own, I guess, measure, or for their own notes, so they can have it, you know, to look at when they have to take a test or whatever the case is. So we're just going through, you know, he's telling us how he feel with the band, and you know, I think the instructor's telling us that, you know, once you get comfortable with it, you know, it becomes easier. So everybody's just, you know, just taking notes. But that's it. If you haven't subscribed now, subscribe, follow the journey.